The Joe Rogan Experience.
And when you look at a guy, like I always point to Merab because the day after he beat Sean, the first fight, DC went to his house to go talk to him, and he was out running. The day after. Like, that's a guy who does not stop. And that extreme physicality and that extreme endurance, because he is just constantly working, that means something. That counts. If you take months off, you take, like this was the thing that I was thinking about with Jon Jones. Jon Jones said he needed 6 months to prepare for Aspinall if he's going to fight Aspinall. So they were trying to make a deal, and then he decided to retire. But it's 6 months because he's not training, like at all. Like he just doesn't train. Like in between fights, just doesn't train. Yeah. Which to me, he used to do that a lot when he was younger too, which is I always thought was crazy.
That is crazy to me. I always saw guys do that, like when I was in my 20s, and like I would watch these really big fighters just not train unless it was a training camp time. And I'd be like, fuck that. I'm never being that way. I don't know, man. That's like a really weird one to me, but I don't want to bash it too bad because I do know a lot of guys that do that. But
well, look at John, greatest of all time. Yeah. It's like, how did he do that?
I really
He's
don't know.
That talented.
I don't know how that works. Like, I want it to make sense in my head that, like, the harder you work, the more shit you'll get from it, you know, which is, like, true to an extent. But then you have, like, these weird outlier guys that maybe have something more figured out than me that I don't have figured out or whatever. But, I mean, that to me is, like, completely unacceptable in my head. Like, I think that I really hate when people say that they want to be something and then they don't do any of the actions to, like, actually do that thing that they're saying that they want to be. Right. So I don't get to walk around being like, yeah, I'm going to be a world champion. I want to be a world champ real bad, and then not do any of the fucking actions, you know? Right. Like, then I'm just a stupid person, you know?
Well, I think John is just so fucking talented that he could pull that off.
Yeah,
and
probably.
That's the outlier. Mm-hmm. It's like he was just so good. He was so good. He could do it. He could party and still fuck guys up. Like what he said to Cormier at the press conference for the second fight. Yeah. I beat you when I was on coke.
Okay, I know. I saw that video the other day.
This is the thing. When guys are that talented, there's so much, like, they're playing with their food, essentially, until, you know, like I always point to with John, the first Gustafsson fight, which by all accounts he didn't train.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by all accounts. I didn't know barely trained for that fight. Damn. Barely trained. Just partying. Yeah. And beat Gustafsson and pulled it off in the last rounds, which was really crazy. But then comes back in the second fight and is like, okay, motherfucker, now we're trained. And just destroys him. Just runs right through him.
Which god does he worship?
Yeah, I know, right? And then,
like, start going to that church.
Well, I think it's just talent, man, and it's also genetics. Like, both of his brothers are super athletes. Yeah, you know, he's just a phenomenal specimen, and then he's got a great mind for fighting. It's you can't discount his in-cage IQ because it's fucking phenomenal.
I do think two people have different wired brains too, where some people need like cool down time.
Well, it's just becoming wiser too. You know, that's why, like, when you see that Jon Jones thing, I'm sure you saw the police cam. Did you see that?
I did recently. I didn't know if it was old or
no,
what.
It's the new one.
Like this week?
Yeah.
That
it's
sucks.
a new one. He's drunk on the phone talking to the cops, and you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know the details of it. Was he driving the car?
Who knows? Yeah, the girl in the car said he was driving. The car was wrecked, and John was gone, and she ratted him out. Jon Jones did it. And then John's on the phone with the cops, and apparently, allegedly, he threatened the cops when he was on the phone, which is not good.
Yeah, not good.
And he's already got a history of running from accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he gets, whatever that is, I hope that he figures it out, you know?
Yeah, I hope so too, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, some people, they like riding the lightning, bro.
He liked riding that lightning.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that made him so good, too, because he was so wild. He was just a wild dude. Yeah. You know, he just genuinely didn't give a fuck and really had this ultimate confidence. And so skillful and so smart. But eventually, you know, one more drink, then like that, and then your body's just like not what it used to be. Yeah. And Aspinall is a fucking beast, man. Yeah. I know there's a lot of questions, never been out of the first round, a lot of questions, but never been out of the first round because he fucks everybody up in the first round. Like, that's a factor. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I really wanted to see that fight, but also at the same time, I appreciated, I forget which interview it was recently, but John was pretty honest in it. He was like, look, man, like, I don't want to fight up and coming tough guys. He was like, I want to fight guys with seasoned champions that have names. And I was like, that could also be interpreted as you don't really want to fight kind of the best guys that there are right now.
Right.
You want to fight like a certain category of fighter who you're comfortable fighting, but you don't want to fight the guys that are tough and that are saying that you're going to win. And that's okay, but that's essentially how I interpreted what he was saying in different words, which I appreciated the honesty.
Well, it's also money fights, right?
Yeah.
Because I think he's wrong, because I think Aspinall's a star. I really do.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he's saying, who is he? He's not no one. Aspinall's a star. When people ask questions to me all the time, like casuals on the street, is Jon Jones going to fight Tom Aspinall? It's constant. That's like the constant question. To me, the real fight would have been Jon Jones versus Francis. That's the real fight. Clearly, I'm not responsible for making decisions, because I would have made a lot of different decisions, and I would have Francis, let's talk. Let's work this out. That guy's a star. Francis is the fucking scariest heavyweight of all time.
Yeah.
That's a star. That guy as the heavyweight champion is so fucking marketable. He puts people into orbit.
Yeah.
He flatlined Stipe. He flatlined Alistair. He flatlines people. He's fucking terrifying. That's the heavyweight champion. And for that guy to walk away from the belt and then almost beat Tyson Fury and then get knocked out by Anthony Joshua and then to come back and destroy that dude in PFL. What's his name again? The big, tall Brazilian dude that he ground and pounded into unconsciousness. Ferreira. That's right.
Oh, okay.
That guy's.
That guy was. He was. Oh yeah.
Big,
the really
giant,
jacked guy. Yeah,
and he's the guy that KO'd Ryan Bader in the first round. He looks phenomenal. He's terrifying. And Francis just destroyed him. I'm like, that's the guy. That's the guy. And everybody knows that's the guy. That's the fight that's the big fight.
It's a shame when that shit happens in the sport, dude.
It's the worst.
I hate it. I see it happen all of the time, and I can't help but think a lot of it is hopefully it's just maybe money business stuff, but I think that some of it is ego, and that's kind of what I try to just drift away from.
Yeah.
My philosophy on winning the belt has always been, if I can't beat whoever it is, if it's like a number 10 ranked Umar, or if it's a number 2 ranked whoever, if I can't beat that person, then I don't deserve the belt, and I don't think that I should get it. It clearly doesn't represent what it represents if it doesn't mean that I beat all the best guys on the way to doing so.
Right.
Not everyone really has that philosophy, and I get it, because once you start involving money, and then money is taking care of your family, which is what, is kind of an excuse to be greedy sometimes for people. It's just never really been my philosophy, and I think that it's kind of a shame when that stuff happens, because in my head we're doing two things. We're seeing who the best fighter in the world is, and we're getting people to watch so that the fans can appreciate something that I find to be the most loved thing in my life, next to my wife, So, I don't know. I think it's a shame when that shit happens, especially when it's like an ego thing. But also at the same time, I don't really think that that's too much of what Jon Jones is doing. I'm more speaking in terms of what I kind of see in other people. I think Jon Jones also has to have some level of awareness around Tom's a young guy, and we age,
Yep.
We age, and that's okay.
John's not a natural heavyweight either.
That too.
I mean, Jon still could make 205.
Yeah. Even in his heavyweight fight, he looked like
a little soft.
Yeah,
a little soft. And 240 and a little soft is, think about how much Pereira cuts, right? He got that weight. He could still make 205 and might still be the champ at 205.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
And Tom Aspinall ain't making 205. That guy's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Ngannou is not making 205. Francis would cut to get to 265 natural.
Sure.
Which is just bananas.
Yeah.
He's a fucking hulking man.
Yeah.
He's a scary dude.
How did